The most expensive mistake I've seen in a commercial project. This is a long one, but it's definitely worth it. So recently, I came across a project in Bangalore. And honestly, it stayed with me not because it was successful, but because of how much it went wrong. So this was a large commercial project, around 1 lakh square feet. Very strong client background, old wealth, multiple businesses slowly starting to invest in commercial real estate. So money was not really the issue here. They had already started construction before we got involved. So when they called me, they said, Akash, we've already started. Just come and see what can be done. I went to the site, and the moment I saw it, I knew something was off. It was a steel structure building, but the foundation had already gone through rework. You could see reinforcements added later, patches, corrections, which usually means something wasn't right from the beginning. So I asked them what actually happened here. And then they started explaining. Initially, they had just gone ahead with construction. No proper detailed design, no structure consultant, just a contractor and basic idea. They were trying to build a mall, that's the funny part. But the floor height they had done were around 10 feet. Anyone who understands retail knows that doesn't work. When the beam comes in, your usable height decreases further. So when they started talking to the tenants like Lulu and other top retails, the first reaction they got was, this won't work. At that point, they realized they need to rethink everything. Then the cycle started. One contractor left, another came in, then someone else took over. The structure was modified, then redone, then strengthened. At one point, there were even concerns about structural stability. So they brought in another structural consultant just to reinforce and make sure everything holds. Tenants like Lulu and others will ask for structural stability, and building compliance was non-negotiable. And obviously, at that stage, no one wanted to take full responsibility because everyone has touched the project at different levels, rework and etc. But no one fully owns it. That's when they approached us. We stepped in and said, okay, let's pause and do this properly. We studied whatever was already built, checked structural integrity, got our structural team involved again. Then we started from scratch, designing, planning, MEP, detailing. We built a full detailed report, drawings, layout, service planning, all of it. This itself took us around 2 months plus. And honestly, for a project of that scale, that's actually fast. Once we started designing, the entire project started changing. The vision became very clear. This wasn't just another commercial building anymore. This had the potential to completely uplift the whole stretch in that local area, which is very close to the airport side in Bangalore. The design we developed was actually something very exciting. Even inside, where the tenants would come in, we didn't leave it generic. We went in with full level of detail. We even explored how Lulu store could sit inside the space, how the circulation would work, how the interior would feel. So the entire project started coming together as one cohesive experience. It wasn't just structure anymore. It felt like a proper destination. And when we took it for tenant level discussions, the response was very positive. People could actually see the potential. Then came the BOQ. We gave them a number, roughly around 10 crores, for most finishing part of the project. Not even the full thing. And honestly, for a project of that scale and per the scope, our work would typically be somewhere around 10 to 12 crores, excluding some other MEP and other related structure work as well. In fact, we had consciously undercoated it because we wanted to have a good starting point in Bangalore. And our intent was not to maximize profit. The idea was simple. Let's deliver something very strong, something that stands out. So we sat together, did value engineering. We brought it down further to around 8 crores. And still, every line item was questioned. Glass is expensive, tiles are expensive, everything is expensive. At that point, the conversation slowly shifted. It was no longer about building a good project. It became about trying to reduce cost at every possible point. And that's when we realized there's a mismatch in how we are looking at this. So eventually we stepped down. Now the interesting part is this.